Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Minister of Culture expresses regret after hundreds of Grand Gala patrons were locked out. Minister of Culture Oliver Grange is expressing regret after hundreds of patrons with tickets for Saturday's staging of the Grand Gala at the National Stadium were locked out of the venue. An overwhelming show of support was evident as the stadium was filled to capacity to over 30,000 people. Still, many who claimed to have had tickets on the outside were left disappointed as they were not able to witness the crowning event of the country's Diamond Jubilee. Minister Grange conceded that a few extra tickets were printed.
Normally, you may have a few extra printed because not everybody turn up who gets invited. But I think in this case, it was persons with and without invitation. I regret it. The response was tremendous, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to solve that problem the next time around. It happened before. It happened in 2008. The support was overwhelming. The indoor center was available for the spillover crowd. It's just that the capacity, it was unfortunate. I'm hoping that the redevelopment of the National Stadium will begin and complete before the next gala, which will be the next milestone anniversary.
DPP to rule in missing money case involving Hanover-based cop. The Director of Public Prosecutions is to rule whether charges should be laid against the Hanover-based constable who allegedly mishandled $800,000 in cash, which was an exhibit in a robbery case. The constable was questioned on Friday by investigators from the Inspectorate and Professional Standard Oversight Bureau, who accused him of misappropriation of the money. He reportedly told investigators that the money was stolen at the station. Attorney Navan Collins, who is representing the constable, told reporters that his client is cooperating with investigators in the case. A judge wrote to the Police High Command in May requesting a probe after the $800,000 could not be accounted for at the end of the trial in Hanover Parish Court. Jamaica's education system facing a crisis, says Speed. Former president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Owen Speed, has joined the list of educators warning that the country's education system is facing a crisis with the mass exodus of teachers in the coming school year. In an interview with reporters, Mr. Speed, who migrated to the U.S. last year, said the Ministries of Education and Finance were warned 2 years ago that following the lifting of COVID pandemic, there would be an exodus of teachers from the classroom. He claimed that low wages and bullying by some principals are factors forcing teachers to migrate to other jurisdictions. On Friday, the Ministry of Education said it is anticipating losing about 1,250 teachers this year. However, Education Minister Favour Williams says this turnover rate has become an annual occurrence. Mrs. Williams said the number is not alarming and there is a strategy to replace those teachers who leave. Mason shot to death in St. Elizabeth. Police are probing the shooting death of a man in Park Mountain District near Santa Cruz on Sunday. Police named the deceased as 47-year-old Arbel Peart, a Mason resident of Park Mountain. Residents identified the deceased by his alias Tom. A police report said about 6 a.m., Peart was at his home when loud explosions were heard. Police said upon their arrival, Peart was found suffering from gunshot wounds. Kenneth Chin, head of the St. Elizabeth Police Superintendent, said lawmen have since increased operational activities in the area. Anyone with information that can assist the police is being urged to contact the Santa Cruz Police at 876-966-2288, the Black River Police at 876-965-2026, 119, or Crime Stop at 311. SRHA ramping up efforts to control spread of monkeypox. Chairman of the Southern Regional Health Authority, SRHA, Wayne Cheng, says about 20 people has been placed in home quarantine in central Jamaica as the authorities try to control the spread of the monkeypox virus. 2 of the first confirmed cases of monkeypox were recorded in Clarendon. One of the patients was recently released from isolation. In an interview, Mr. Cheng said health teams in the region has intensified contact tracing in a bid to detect whether there are any other cases in the southern region. The Ministry of Health announced the 3rd case of monkeypox last week. The Health Ministry says the latest case is the first locally transmitted case of monkeypox, as the patient had no recent travel history and has not been linked to the 2 previously announced cases. The patient is now in isolation at home and remains in stable condition. The ministry says the case is being investigated and contact tracing has begun. JLP Secretariat rejects claims of George Wright's return to the party. The Secretariat of the Government Jamaica Labour Party JLP is rejecting claims that George Wright, the embattled Westmoreland Central Member of Parliament, is being courted for a return to the party. The party said no thought is being given for such a move and the former member has not made an application. We don't approve him. I don't know where J.C. Hutchinson got this thing from. The man does not apply to join the party. We don't engage him. It's not a thought, Dr. Horace Chang, the JLP General Secretary, said in a telephone interview. At a recent Marysville Divisional meeting at the party at the Nain Basic School in St. Elizabeth, Hutchinson, the Era Council for Deputy Leader, bragged at the party's sweep of Westmoreland in September 3, 2020, general election and revealed the pending return of Wright to the JLP. Tonight we have 2 of them here with us. In Eastern Westmoreland, we have Danny Lawrence. In Western Westmoreland, we have Merlin Wilson, Hutchinson said. And the 3rd MP, Independent Labour Wright, who everybody knows that has been taking a short leave from the Labour Party, and he will be soon back with us, George Wright, the 3rd person who won on the Labour Party ticket, the senior deputy leader declared. But according to Chang, the party has not made any advance towards Wright, who won the Westmoreland Central seat against the opposition People's National Party, Dwayne Falls. There is no ambiguity about George Wright returning to the party at this point in time, he told reporters. As General Secretary of the party, we have no application. We made no approaches to him. Wright was the center of public attention in April last year after video surfaced of a man brutally beating a woman, including with a stool. On April 6, the day of the incident, both Wright and his partner Tanisha Singh filed separate assault reports with the police, which they later decided not to pursue. Neither Wright nor Singh has confirmed or denied being parties in the video, but it led to public outcry and demand for action. Wright, a first-term MP, later resigned from the JLP, but remained in Parliament as representative for Westmoreland Central. Singh remained a member of the party's young professional arm, Generation 2000, in Westmoreland. However, Chang, in seeking to maintain his party's stance on the allegations involving Wright, said domestic violence is a major issue and cannot be taken lightly. That's an ethical issue that is out there, and therefore we cannot be ambiguous about it, so we took the decision to remove him from the party, he stated. Still $5 million, says Tufton. Despite 2-year pause on construction, the price tag for the Western Children and Adolescents Hospital is expected to remain at $5.7 billion, according to Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton. The facility is estimated to cost some $5 billion Jamaican dollars, and the overwhelming bulk of that amount is being provided through grant funding by the Chinese government, Tufton told the gathering during a ceremony to mark the resumption of work on the hospital on Friday. The Jamaican government is providing some funding this year. For example, we allocated $100 million as part of preparing the ground and doing a few other technical things. But it is substantially a grant-funded project based on the friendship and the commitment of building that friendship between China and Jamaica, Tufton stated. Ground was broken from the 6th-floor, 220-bed hospital on the compound of the Corner Regional Hospital in Mount Salem on October 23, 2019. It was scheduled for completion 2 years later. However, work was halted in 2020 due to the novel coronavirus pandemic. The Health Minister's assurance that its price tag remains the same is in stark contrast to the delay-plagued Corner Regional Hospital SRH, whose cost has ballooned as repair work dragged on. According to Dr. Tufton, the Children's Hospital will provide specialized care in pediatric medicine, pediatric surgery, adolescent medicine, and adolescent surgery. It will have 220 beds on its ward and will also have accommodations for medical staff. That's a very positive thing because housing, as you know, is always a big challenge and is a great motivator for employees. So the building will actually have staff accommodation, said Tufton. When completed in another 2 years, the facility is expected to be the largest of its kind in the Caribbean, capable of providing services to Jamaica's regional neighbors. Combined with SRH and the Bustamante Hospital for Children, it will provide significant added capacity. It certainly will take on some of the strain of the Bustamante Hospital for Children, even though that takes patients up to 12 years old. This facility will be up to 18 years old to add to the adolescent component, Dr. Tufton explained. He anticipates that work will move quickly. I believe we're going to see an 8-story building in a very, very short space of time. I came here 2 weeks ago and then all of those steel wasn't in the ground and we're seeing now, so it's obvious that the work is going at lightning speed and we appreciate that, he said. Speaking during the event, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, who stated his assurance that the contractor will deliver. I firmly believe that the Nongkong No. 2 construction company will try its best with the highest quality and efficiency to build a new, modern hospital for our Jamaican friends. I believe it will become a new landmark of Montego Bay and a new symbol of China-Jamaica friendship. I believe in this modern and digital hospital, children in Jamaica, even in the Caribbean, will enjoy advanced medical care and service, he stated. Once the facility is completed, Tufton said maintenance will be crucial. Part of the difficulty that we have had, and indeed the debacle of Cornwall, is the lack of maintenance, and it's manifesting itself in all our public health institutions. We build them and they get run down, and we don't invest sufficiently in preventative maintenance. We're learning the lessons the hard way from this. So this facility, as I've said to them and they have agreed, once it is built, there will be a maintenance team here. We're going to have to do the same with Cornwall. We're going to have to do the same with Spanish Town, and it's going to have to be part of our culture that we invest more in the maintenance of our buildings, the minister stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.